Hey guys, YouTuber100 here, and happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. Today's March 17th, which of course is St. Patrick's Day, and of course I've got the green on. I've got a Lucky Charm shirt on. I mean, it is a fitting themed shirt for St. Patrick's Day, right? I mean, like the Irish. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. Hey, yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day, I guess, to all the Irish people out there. Yeah, if anybody Irish is watching this, happy St. Patrick's Day, and yeah, hopefully, yeah, this is a good day for the Irish. Yeah. So anyway, alright, so this is a video that I have actually been thinking about making for a little while. This is kind of a follow-up video to the video that I did a little while back. You may remember about like 5-6 months ago, I did a video listing the top 5 best WCW games. Yeah, and in that video, I said that overall, wrestling video games in general do have, like, kind of a pretty bad track record. I mean, there have been, like, quite the number of pretty bad wrestling video games out there. And so, in this video, this is just going to be, like, another subject regarding that. So, as you can see by the title of the video, it's just kind of me asking a question to you guys. So, yeah, with, like, the pretty bad track record of wrestling video games, like, in general, like, what do you guys think that the console that has the worst track record of exclusive pro wrestling video games? So, yeah, exclusive. This isn't, like, just, like, wrestling video games that were, like, just released on any like just consoles in general. What I mean is just what wrestling video games that have just been exclusive to just a specific console, just one console. Which console do you think did put out the worst exclusive wrestling video games? So, like I have said, like there have been like quite the number of bad wrestling video games out there. I mean, there have just been like pretty bad track record for them in general. I mean, there have been some good ones out there, of course, but yeah, it's just like an inconsistent history. Like, there have been some that have just been really bad. Personally, the console that I think put out the worst exclusive wrestling video games, well, the one that I think has the worst track record overall, is the original Xbox. Yeah, I think the original Xbox had the worst track record for exclusive wrestling video games. So, the original Xbox only put out 3 exclusive wrestling titles. Now, like the Xbox did release those Legends of Wrestling games. Yeah, I mean, you remember like in like 2000, like the early 2000s, I'll just say, there was like that series of the 3 Legends of Wrestling games. But yeah, those were released on like PS2, Xbox, and GameCube. So yeah, those weren't exclusive titles. But yeah, with those Legends of Wrestling games, I did find those playable. Like those games weren't necessarily for everybody, but yeah, there were some people that did get enjoyment out of them. I mean, I guess it was I think nostalgic for a lot of old school wrestling fans because those games really did feature like a lot of old school wrestlers at the time. So, well, yeah, wrestlers that like wrestled back in like the 80s, like 70s and 80s and stuff. So, yeah, I guess like it was good for nostalgia for old school fans out there. But yeah, those were enjoyable. But yeah, those weren't exclusive titles. Yeah, with the 3 exclusive titles that the original Xbox put out, those games really were pretty bad. Like the original Xbox put out the 2 Raw games, which, yeah, those games really were not very good. Like, the first Raw game came out, like, was it, like, 2001, early 2002, something like that? I remember that, and, yeah, that really wasn't a very good game. I mean, I was, like, kind of younger when that game came out, so I was, like, playing it, kind of, but, yeah, it wasn't, like, particularly good. And Raw 2, oh, that one was, like, pretty bad, too. Like, Raw 2, gosh, I mean, I only, like, played it, like, once or twice because I just really did not like it. Yeah, it just was, like, a pretty bad game. So, yeah, the original Xbox had the 2 Raw games that really were not very good. And, of course, the original Xbox also put out the WrestleMania 21 game, which, yeah, we all know about that game. Like, that game just has received like just so much hate, and I really didn't play it very much. I only played it just like Raw 2. I only played it once or twice just because I just really couldn't play it because it just was like really bad. Just the controls sucked, and yeah, it just really was not very likable at all. So I mean, there were like did have some good graphics for the time, I guess, but yeah, just the gameplay was the important part, and yeah, just the gameplay on like pretty much all three of those games really were just like really, really bad. So yeah, and just yeah, those games really just failed big time, and so yeah, I think it's because of the failure of those three games that those were really the only exclusive games that the Xbox did. They only put out three, and so yeah, it's just that. So yeah, it's just yeah, those games really were just like really bad, and especially like seeing like how much hate they received, and it, those three just ended up being the only three exclusive titles that the original Xbox put out. I think that just shows that I think that really is deserving to give for the Xbox to have the worst track record and stuff. I think it's fair for me to say that. So yeah, because like with other like gaming systems, while they may have put out some bad games too, at least like they did like have some good ones as well. Like the PlayStation 1, they did like put out some bad games. Of course, like there were the WCW Nitro and Thunder games. Well, Nitro was also like released for PC and N64, but yeah, Thunder really was like pretty bad as well. So yeah. So yeah, but yeah, the PlayStation 1 did also still have some good titles. It of course had like the WCW versus the World game, which I've talked about before, which I did think was at least decent enough to play, and I do like still find it somewhat playable. And of course, like the PlayStation 1 did also have the first two SmackDown games which people did seem to like, which of course also did continue on the PlayStation 2. Like, the PlayStation 2 continued the SmackDown series with, like, Just Bring It and Shut Your Mouth and Here Comes the Pain, which were, like, also were, like, successes overall, too. Like, people did seem to like them. I never did play Just Bring It, but I did play Shut Your Mouth and Here Comes the Pain, and I did like the games. And, of course, like, the PlayStation 2 also started the SmackDown vs. Raw series, which were also pretty good as well. I mean, they really were, like, good sellers. So, yeah. So yeah, I think the PlayStation in general, like regardless of which console we're talking about, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, etc. Yeah, they did like overall have a good track record for games. Yeah, and with Nintendo, like they did seem to like have good ones also. Like, of course, they did have some like kind of bad ones, or like some that people really were not too crazy for. Um, I can't really think of any specifically bad exclusives on the N64. Of course, like there was a Backstage Assault, but yeah, Backstage Assault was also on the PlayStation as well as like that Nitro game. And as well as Mayhem. Like, Mayhem, like, there were some people that liked it and some people didn't, but yeah, it was, like, released on both PlayStation and N64. And I really, like, the GameCube also, like, it did have, like, the two WrestleMania games, like WrestleMania 18 and 19, which, I mean, I did play them, and I didn't really have a problem with them, but yeah, there were, like, some people that really weren't too crazy about WrestleMania 18, but WrestleMania 19 was overall like people did seem to like, and of course the GameCube also did have the two Day of Reckoning games, which people did seem to like. It's just that they were like kind of competing with the SmackDown vs. Raw games, and the SmackDown vs. Raw games just like sold a lot better than the Day of Reckoning games did. So I think that was why like there was just like two Day of Reckoning games that were made, and like there weren't any more made for like for the Wii or anything. So. Well, yeah, but yeah, like games like that, they did seem to overall like still did have a following. Like there were like some fans of them, but yeah, there was also like that the Crush Hour game that was released for the PS2 and the GameCube, which yeah wasn't an exclusive, but yeah, it was just kind of like a really bizarre concept. It was basically like the WWE edition of Twisted Metal. I don't know how that really came about, but yeah, that game, like, there was only one made, so I guess, like, it wasn't a real big success, but yeah, that wasn't an exclusive, so yeah, I'm getting off topic, but yeah. So, do you see what I'm getting at? Where, like, there were, like, some other, like, there were exclusive titles on other consoles that were still overall, like, pretty good games, like, people did seem to like, but the original Xbox just, it just really didn't do very good. And I mean, they were like 0 for 3 on putting out like good exclusive titles. So, yeah, based on that, and just like because I can at least think of like good games, games people did like for that were exclusive for other consoles. Well, I really do think that that really does like show like I do think that this is like showing that the Xbox really is like kind of deserving, and it's enough to say that the Xbox does have the worst track record for exclusive wrestling games. So, no, yeah, the original Xbox is just like my pick for the console with the worst exclusive wrestling games. So yeah, if you guys can think of like another one, like if there's a other console that you think does have the worst track record for wrestling exclusives, yeah, you can comment on my channel and tell me what you think the game console is with the worst track record for exclusive wrestling games. So yeah, I'm really not too don't really know too much about like older consoles like the NES and the SNES and stuff. I don't know like about the games that were wrestling games that were on those consoles or know how good or how bad those are because I didn't play like the NES or the SNES or the Genesis or yeah, some older consoles like that. I didn't play those. Oh, so yeah, if there are like some bad games on those consoles, yeah, you can comment on my channel and tell me like if you think those games are bad and if you think that those consoles do have a worse track record than the Xbox. So let me know what you think the gaming console with the worst track record for wrestling exclusives are. All right, so I guess that's all I have to say about this. So I hope you guys enjoyed what I had to say about this subject. And so yeah, let me know what you think and go on this subject and what console you think is the worst one for wrestling exclusives. Alright, so I guess that's all I can really say about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.